What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Hey, confession. This is the first time I've done this so far in 2023 in my daily YouTube video challenge, but I'm recording this a day early. Sorry, guys. I'll still post it on the right day, which for me right now is tomorrow, but it's gonna be Saturday. I'm going offline tomorrow to spend time with my wifey. So hopefully that's not like against the rules. Hopefully you guys got some grace for me. But I do want to share a story with you guys today of something God did through me in college. A little bit of backstory, because the story starts with I had a hard time falling asleep one night. And the backstory to why that is significant is because I never have a hard time falling asleep, especially at that time in my life. I remember like once or twice in all of high school feeling like it took me 5 minutes to 10 minutes to fall asleep, and that was like incredibly abnormal. Like usually I'm out within 30 seconds after hitting my pillow. Boom. So these couple times, literally on one hand, where it would take me 5 to 10 minutes, I would tell myself I must not have worked hard enough today because I'm not tired enough to fall asleep right away. And so I always made it my goal to just exhaust myself, fall asleep right away. And that continued into college. Boom, out. As soon as I hit the pillow, out. So one night, maybe around October of my freshman year, I am not falling asleep. And it's not like anxiety stuff. It's not like stress for a test. It's not like a big idea I had. It's not a cool memory that I keep playing in my head. Like, no, there's no reason why I can't fall asleep. And it is probably 11 p.m. or something. I mean, late-ish for me. And I can't fall asleep, and I try hard for 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. At this point, I'm starting to internally, in my head, pray, asking God, like, why can't I fall asleep? Like, will you help me fall asleep? And what happens is I feel like just out of the blue, this is not, I did not at any point in my day or my week or my freshman year anticipate this, but I feel like God says, hey, I want you to get up and I want you to go to All Faiths Chapel. All Faiths Chapel is just this little university building. It's open 24/7. Sometimes it was across the street from my dorm, and I would sometimes spend time worshiping, praying, reading the Bible there, particularly during my freshman year. And so I'm like, no, like I'm going to bed. Like, I don't want to go read the Bible right now. I want to sleep. So I keep trying to sleep. I keep tossing and turning. Another 10, another 15 minutes goes by. And I know, at this point, I know like the reason I'm not falling asleep is because God is not letting me sleep. And he wants me to go to All Faiths Chapel. I don't know why he wants me to go there, but that's the situation at hand. Another, like I said, 10, 15 minutes go by, and I feel like God says, I want you to get up and go to All Faiths Chapel because there's someone that I want you to meet there. And I interpreted that as probably my future spouse is there just worshiping her heart out at, 12 a.m. on a Thursday night. Because I had never fantasized that specifically, but definitely I had had the thought as I was spending time with God, journaling, reading the Bible, praying in this All Faiths Chapel building throughout the fall of my freshman year. I thought, man, I want to marry someone that does crazy things like this, like just kind of like, what if I met my spouse here one day type of fantasy, I guess. So I literally feel like I interpret it as God essentially is like, hey, this is the time. I want you to meet who your one day spouse might be. Still, I am like, no, like, let me go to bed. Like, I want to sleep. I keep trying to sleep. Another 10, another 15 minutes go by. Finally, I'm like angry, like, fine. I get up, get dressed, go over to All Face, and the way that I got myself to do it was like, let me just write a blog. And if I work on a blog, then at least it'll give me something to do, and then I feel like I'm not wasting this time that I should be asleep. So I walk into the chapel building, and the chapel building has a couple side rooms on one side of the building, and like this main chapel in one side. I walk in, and there's someone playing piano, worshiping, which was odd, not common at midnight. Or maybe it was even 12:30 at this point, for there to be that someone there. It does not register to me that this might be someone I'm supposed to meet, because this was a guy, and I'm thinking this is going to be a girl that I'm going to meet. And also, I had somehow registered I almost like kind of forgot that God had said that, and I was like, I'm coming here to do a blog. And I almost was just like focused on that. I was focused on that. So I go to the side room nook. I plop on one of the couches. I'm blogging away, typing my thoughts. And I'm still like, what am I here for? I don't know. But I'm kind of like past the point of God told me to come here. And now I'm just on blog mode. This guy that was playing the piano, after about 30, 45 minutes, comes over to the couch and sits on the couch that's in an L, adjacent to my couch. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm so annoyed because I'm trying to work on my blog, And literally, I'm just giving him one-word responses, and it doesn't register that maybe this is who I'm supposed to meet. Because again, not a girl, not going to be my wife, And also I'm focused on this blog. So he talks my ear off for a bit, just asking questions, whatever. I'm not really giving him much. I'm not saying much. He's kind of like, what's your major? All this kind of stuff. I'm like, leave me alone. Like, it's the middle of the night. It's kind of weird that you're talking to me right now because it's the middle of the night and we're the only two people in this building. And fast forward into this conversation, I guess he gives up asking me a bunch of questions, and he just starts sharing about some of the things that he's thinking about and processing. And he's just going off and off and off on a lot of problems in his life, basically. And, when he first sat down, it was probably already 1 a.m., 1:30, and now it's 2:30, and he's been talking to me. At that point, I have this aha moment. You'll never believe what it was. What if this is the person God wants me to meet? Because some of the struggles he was talking about were intense. I mean, like abusive relationships, like abusing alcohol and drugs, like threats of violence in like previously in like essentially homosexual or homoerotic relationships that turned into manipulation and weren't actually, healthy relationships by any means, just kind of like hookup culture type relationships. And he's about to fail out of school, and all this shame related to where he comes from, his family, and all this stuff, right? I have this thought, I think this is the guy I'm supposed to meet. So 2:30 turns into 3:30, turns into 4:30, turns into 5:30 a.m. And he has continued talking this whole time, and I'm listening and listening and listening and listening and listening. And I know I'm supposed to meet this guy. That's why I'm still listening to him, because God made me, because he wouldn't let me fall asleep. And earlier, when I tried to go to bed, around 5:45 a.m., there's a pause in his talking that allows me 2 sentences of counsel for what he's going through, if that. And then I'm like, hey, it's getting late, and by that I mean it's getting early, but how about this? What if we met up again next week, right here, midnight? We both know that we're both free at midnight on Thursday. What do you say? And we'll just do it every week. Let's just come and just talk to me about how it's going, and I'll pray for you. I don't have the answers. This guy was a super senior, so I would not have come into that type of friendship thinking I'm the one with something to offer here, But he agreed to meet with me, and we met every week, Thursday at midnight, that whole school year, and then we met every week the fall of the next school year, and the spring is when he graduated. And his dad came to meet me, because what I learned fall of sophomore year, after it had been almost a full calendar year of meeting with this guy in the middle of the night, spending multiple hours in the middle of the night, just being there for him, because no one else was there for him. He tells me, hey, you remember that night when I met you in All Faith Chapel? I'm like, yes, of course, I remember that. He said, what I never told you is that I was going to commit suicide that night, and I went to All Faith Chapel as my one last-ditch effort, and I was praying, God, if you don't want me to kill myself, send me someone to talk to me. Send someone to talk to me, to be a messenger, to not just to say, hey, what's up, but send someone that can encourage me, that can strengthen me, that can point me to you, if you want me to live, and if you want me to follow you. Guys, so God sent me. He wouldn't let me fall asleep. Jeez, what a punk, right? Just kidding. What an amazing God who cares about his people, And it was so awesome when he shared that, because it was just like, bro, literally, it was not my goodwill that led to this. It was not, even after God sent me, I still didn't realize, and I wasn't even thinking that you were the one he sent me to. And even when you came to me, I was still not convinced, and I was just annoyed, focused on myself. Like, this isn't a story of how awesome Jeremy is. It's like, I'm the epic fail of the story, But God, sees people, and he hears people's prayers. And that year and a half of relationship with this guy was huge. He got healed and delivered of so much stuff. I was saying his dad came to meet me at his graduation and just thanked me from the bottom of his heart, basically for saving his son. But of course I didn't save his son. But his dad didn't even speak English, he's just speaking through this guy who was translating it for me to hear. And anyways, an encouraging relationship, and there are more testimonies and encouraging stories I could share of transformation that happened in this guy's life, and just things related to it, but I just wanted to kind of hone in on just that night we met and how crazy that is that that even happened. Like, this is a real story, guys. Like, it was one other encouraging thing about it is I came into freshman year of college feeling discouraged that I wasn't going to get to disciple anyone because I was a freshman. In my junior year, my senior year of high school, I had invested in 2 different guys, one guy each year, and I loved those weekly meetings of pouring into them. We called it discipleship, just helping each other follow God. Freshman year of college, I'm like, man, I'm not going to get to disciple anyone. And then, because I'm thinking age and ranking and how do you earn respect to even have that type of relationship with someone, right? And then 3 months later, God sends me to this building to meet a super senior, someone that's 4 years older than me, because I'm a year young for my grade. And hey, this is the guy that I want you to pour into. And so even that was freeing and helpful for me, of realizing that it's not all about age and worldly stats, just be willing to be used by God and see what he can do, And I'm thankful. Ultimately, guys, of course, I'm so thankful that he didn't let me sleep that night. But guess what? I've been sleeping like a baby ever since. Just kidding. But I have never had anything like that ever since, where I'm trying to fall asleep for that long and I can't. And I feel like God's telling me to go do something. Like, no. That was God. He talks. Crazy stuff, y'all. That's all I got for y'all today. Again, I'm recording this Friday night, but I'm posting it Saturday. But you're not even watching it on Saturday, probably. You're probably like, bro, who cares about days of the week? Regardless, I wanted to share this with you. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon. Life is worship. God is love.